I'm going to be delivering the presentation today. My name is Sophie and I've worked for Enterprise for around 7.5 years now. I actually started on the Graduate Management Training Programme in the northwest of England, which is where I still am. And around 3.5 years into my career with Enterprise, I came into the talent acquisition team. So I've worked with the talent team and recruiting and doing things like that now for nearly 4 years. So that's just a little bit of a background of me. At university, I actually didn't study a subject you would naturally assume I would, working in a business management kind of environment, but I did drama and theatre studies at university. But the great thing about Enterprise is we look for students with transferable skills. So actually there's no set thing that you have to have studied at university, which means that we're open to a lot of different people from different backgrounds as well. And we also have Emily Andrews with us today. Emily, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. So I am just basically coming out of the internship. So I came into Chester Uni. So I'm originally from London, but don't ask me why I came up to Chester. Very long story. But I started with Enterprise almost, so it's a year and a half now. So I started last June on the internship. So I'm over in Chester. It's been a great year. It's been such a good opportunity for me. I'm now back in uni. I'm on part-time. So I'm basically just keeping my head in the game, kind of passing uni, but also keeping my face in work, just to obviously make sure that when I go back, I'm ready for it. But so I'm also, I help Sophie with a lot of kind of like acquisition kind of little events. I'm the campus brand manager for Chester University. So I do a lot of these little events, trying to make sure that people know about our programs and obviously, find out as much as they can about them.
So keeping very busy is what you're doing,
yes,
within your
very
final
busy.
year of university. Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to move on to telling you a little bit more about Enterprise and the kind of company that we are. And as I mentioned throughout the webinar, if you have got any questions, please do pop them in the chat box so we can come to them at the end as well. So this is Enterprise Mobility at a glance. So we are a global company. We actually started off in the 1950s, so a very long time ago now, in America. So we are an American company. We are also a family-owned company, and that's still to this day. We are owned by a family in America called Taylors. They still privately own the whole company, no matter what the size of it now. And you can see some of the amazing stats here on the slide, that we are now a global company that's worth over 35 billion US dollars in global revenue, which is unreal. We've also got over 90,000 employees now as a company, and that's over across 90 plus countries. So we're actually have branches, we have locations in over 90 countries in the world, not just America and the UK. We've got over 9,500 branches across the globe as well. So when I asked you about where you are all located, we've got locations up and down the country. We've also got locations around the world as well. So scope for location and where you want to be, or if you wanted to relocate and things like that is really, really good. We have got a fleet size now. When I say fleet, I mean the amount of vehicles we have as a company, because obviously, I'm saying obviously, you might not know, but we're a company that deals with vehicles, and we've got over 2.3 million vehicles on our fleet, which makes us the world's largest fleet, which is fantastic. Another amazing stat to share there. And we've got over 300 makes and models of different vehicles and different partners that we work with as well. So Enterprise Mobility is it's quite a new brand, to be honest, and we've rebranded. This is our new name, hence why I got it wrong at the start. And we have lots of kind of different business lines under that title of Enterprise Mobility. So one of them you might have heard of, which is a really well-known brand that we have, is Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We have also lots and lots of different things that are all listed here. So we do everything from daily rental, which is Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We do Enterprise Flexi Rent over in the UK, which is kind of commercial vehicles. We deal a lot with commercial businesses, so corporate, big corporations and things like that. And we'll do everything from short-term rental to long-term leasing with those as well. We've got Enterprise Exotics. We've got one in the north and one in the south now, and that deals with prestige vehicles, really, really nice vehicles that we're not allowed to drive, unfortunately, but things like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, things like that, for that high kind of class clientele that are after that kind of thing. And we also have enterprise rent-a-car, which some of you, especially if your students, might be familiar with, because we rent to 18-year-olds upwards with Enterprise Car Club. They're dotted around city centres, outside universities, outside train stations. We've got so many more brands, as you can see here. We actually don't just deal with cars, but we have tech solution companies that we own, such as Integral. We do car sharing and things like that as well. So a lot of people just think we deal with car rental, but actually we do a lot more. So it's just worth knowing, especially if you're looking to join our company. Now, another slide I like to share when I talk about enterprise is our values, which are super important. These can be found on our website, and it also, just a hint, if you are planning on applying, it's always great to talk about our values and the fact that you've looked at them in the recruitment process. So if you get in an interview, always good to mention our values in there as well. And the reason for that is we look for people that really do align their own values, their personal values, with what we align our values with as this in this company as well. So they're really, really important to us, and they underpin every single decision we make as a business. Every hire that we bring into the company, we've always got these values in the back of our mind. So just to pick on a couple, I'm going to pick my favorite one. I think I talk about it the most, and it's that customer service is our way of life. And I say that because if you were to join Enterprise, you would soon realize that we are a very customer-centric business. We deal with people day in, day out. In the rental branches, we're dealing with customers from lots of different backgrounds, needing vehicles for lots of different reasons. And we pride ourselves on delivering excellent customer service. Even in my role now, I deal with customers in a different way, but that's constantly the priority in any role that you would undertake with an enterprise. Emily, I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you like to pick one of your favorite values and tell me a little bit why that's your
no. Yeah, I think I've got to say, with Enterprise, you're a family, and with it being a family run company, it just creates that vibe of, everybody's together, everyone's so close, and you see everybody day to day, and we are just a fun bunch. And I think I can say that from up and down the country. So I've got to say our organization is a fun and friendly place where teamwork rules. And it's hilarious because that is such an American thing, kind of like such an American slogan. But honestly, the friends I meet that I've met at Enterprise, the people, it's not something I would have seen instead if it wasn't here. So I've got to say that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Definitely. I think they're all, each of these is super important. And if I had time, if this webinar was 2 hours long, I would explain each and every one of them. But these can be found on our website, and it's really, really good to familiarize yourself with our values, especially, as I said, if you're planning to apply and, be part of our recruitment process, just making sure that we're the right company for you, because if our values align with your own, then that's a good starting point. So it's really good to familiarize yourself with these. Another thing that I always like to talk about, I'm very proud to work at Enterprise, if you haven't already guessed. So I like to just tell you about some of the amazing things that we do that you wouldn't know we did, because you just think, oh, it's Enterprise, they're a car rental company, they just rent cars to people and that's it. That's not it. And we do so much more than that. So I just want to talk very briefly about some of the things that we do around our local communities and our neighbourhoods that we operate within, and just some things to give back as well. We're aware we've got a 2.3 million vehicle fleet, and we need to give back in some way to the environment, to the planet. Obviously doing things like sustainable mobility, which is listed here, making sure that our fleet is constantly going in the right direction in terms of electric vehicles, hybrid vehicles, plug-in hybrid vehicles, and things like that as well. Phasing out diesel vehicles to make sure that, we're not letting too many fumes into the environment and things like that as well. And really kind of making sure that we're on level with kind of government legislation and things like that, and making sure that our fleet is constantly being more sustainable year on year, which is definitely something that we're proud of, and we're leading kind of the industry in that as well. But we do other things as well. We've got the 50 million tree pledge, which again, you can read more about all of these things on our website. But the 50 million tree pledge was something that we implemented. I believe it was about 2000 and don't quote me, actually. I'm not going to say it because I'm not actually sure. But I know we're a good way into doing that now, where we pledged $50 million to plant 50 million trees over 50 years. So that was our pledge, and we're well on our way with doing that now to make sure that we're giving back to the planet. We've got our Fill Your Tank initiative as well, which means that we partner up with lots and lots of food banks across the UK to make sure that we're helping them, with people in the local communities as well. And we're giving back not just to sustainable initiatives, but actually we're giving it back to our communities and things like that, and helping the people within the communities that we operate within as well. So I know, speaking of this, we each, as an employee, we get 1 day a year, which is given to us that we can go out. We probably do more than one a year, to be honest, but this is something that we can do for any kind of purpose that's close to our hearts. So you get a day where you get to plan whatever you want to do with the local communities, with a charity, with an organization like that. You can go into schools, whatever you want to do to give back to the local community. You get paid to do it. You don't have to be in work for that day, and you get to, that's just one of the perks, that you get to give back to something that you are passionate about. Emily, have you used your My Purpose, My Time day recently?
I got to say that I didn't use it in my placement year, but I know that in our area at the minute, there is a day where we're getting booked on for a skydive, and then we're gonna put money to the charity for that. So I'm gonna take that as mine, if that's okay. Definitely. But I do have a couple of ideas in the pipeline for my next couple, but Fantastic. Yeah, unfortunately not yet.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, and just a little bit about how we're recognized, I suppose, for the opportunities that we offer with the graduate schemes and with other opportunities that we have available. We're very proud of the fact that we are a very diverse company, and we like to bring in lots of different people from different degree disciplines, from different ethnicities, from different, completely everyone from different walks of life. And we've been recognized as a company. They might just look like labels on a page to you, but there's a lot of work that's gone into this from my team, from the rest of the enterprise team, to make sure that we are a fully inclusive and diverse employer. And we've got some really good awards from that. So we've been a top 50 employer for women for the last 17 years, I believe. We're also a Stonewall top employer for the LGBTQ plus community as well. We're a disability confident employer, which is fantastic. And we're also on the employer index for a top 75 employer for the social mobility as well. So really reaching those people from, different backgrounds, from disadvantaged backgrounds, and offering them, opportunities to really succeed within their career as well. And there's a couple of quotes there from people that work at Enterprise. Romina actually is part of my team, and is a wheelchair user. And even though she was a wheelchair user, and you naturally wouldn't believe she'd be able to drive, a normal vehicle that we have on fleet, we made sure that we made amendments, and that Romina was able to succeed, and she's made a really, really successful career. And that's just one success story. We have tons and tons of people that work for Enterprise from a background where they've either been disadvantaged or they've got a disability and things like that. So we urge anyone listening that might fall into one of these categories, if you need any help throughout the recruitment process, or you need any adjustments making throughout the recruitment process to help you succeed, just make sure that you let us know so we can help you with that, so that you're not disadvantaged within our process as well. So this is just a really quick stat. Last year, more than 20,000 employees across our positions at Enterprise were promoted or took on new challenges within different roles, which is fantastic. Like it's such an amazing accolade for us as a business to show that we're very driven when it comes to progression and promotion, and really getting people to that next step of their career, not just kind of coming in at one level and staying that level for years and years to come like you would in some companies, but actually having the opportunities to get fast promotions to really, really drive your career forward. Over 20,000 employees in 1 year. So that was just something that I wanted to share with you as well. I've already spoke about some of our awards in terms of kind of being a top employer for women and all of that kind of thing, but we're also recognised for the schemes that we offer as well. So we're in the top Times 100 graduate employers for our graduate opportunities, and we've also ranked second, which is crazy, out of every company in the best student employers for placements as well. So if anyone out there is still looking for a year in industry placement, if you're an undergraduate student in your second year and you're looking for that opportunity, I do believe we've still got some open on our website as well. So I'm going to talk to you about the main opportunity that we have, the one, you know, that you will have probably all heard about on campus if you've seen us there and things like that. And that's our management training program. So this management training program is available as a graduate scheme. It's available as a year in industry placement, as I mentioned, for undergraduate students. And we do have in the summer, in certain locations, summer placements as well. So over 3-month period across summer as well. These can be found on our website, which I will link in the chat at some point when I've stopped talking. So I'm going to talk to you about what our schemes are all about and what we can offer, you know, and reasons why to join us really on one of our schemes. So first of all, you get a really good business understanding. And as I mentioned before, you don't necessarily have to have come from a business environment, a business degree or anything like that, but you will get a good understanding of how a business operates, what goes into it. What you learn day to day at Enterprise is very varied. So instead of being in one team learning just one thing about a business, you're actually opened up to learning so much more and everything about how a business operates. So I always explain it as if you were to open up your own business as a self-employed person, you'd have to hire a salesperson, you'd have to hire a customer service person, you'd have to have an accountant or a finance person. You'd have to have all of these people within your team. The way I describe being on the management training program is you're learning all of that. So you are the person that learns all about that, as is everyone else within your branch as well. So you really do get that really good business understanding. You're able to develop your professional skills as well. Obviously, you're constantly learning to develop these professional skills throughout university. If you've been out on placements before, if you've worked part-time or volunteered or done anything like that, but it just gives you the opportunity to be in a real, large multi-million pound, billion-pound business and develop those professional skills with both customers, with members of staff, your what they called your co-workers, and as well as business partners as well, and different people you will come across within the business as well. You're able to grow relationships, which is super important. Again, with all the people I've just mentioned, not just your co-workers, not just with customers, with business partners and external people, and also other people within the business that might be in different teams across the country as well. Sorry, I'm skip ahead. I've been talking and not skipping. You've got your support system is able to grow. You've got we're really proud of the fact that when you join us at Enterprise, we've got a fantastic mentor scheme. So you get a mentor designated to you to help you through, to advise, to help your development, and to really push you in the direction you want to go. You've got the support of everyone in your branch as well as everyone in your area and the wider team as well, because there's a lot of different people. So even though you'd be working in a small scale branch with a few different people, you would also have an extended network as well of people that you're able to network with, that you're able to grow your personal brand with, and that essentially will help you on your way to that next promotion. And you get rewarded for it. So for those eager people that really were looking through our values, one of the values was we work hard, but we reward hard work. And that is, it's never been truer of any other company ever than Enterprise, because if you're willing to put in the hard work that it takes, you will get rewarded for that. And you'll get rewarded in terms of promotions and the progression that you receive, both personal progression and professional progression. You'll get rewarded within the money that you earn, the salary, you know, the levels that you can grow to, and everything like that as well. So there's really, really a lot that you can get out of a career with Enterprise. And that moves me on to our timeline, our career timeline, which is on the screen now. Sorry if it's a little bit blurry. Looks a bit blurry to me. Maybe my eyes are going a bit. But this just shows you typically what paths you can take when you join us on the management training program. So you can see the management training program all the way there in the left-hand side at the bottom. That's your starting point. That was my starting point. That was Emily's starting point. That's been pretty much everyone's starting point that works at Enterprise. And you are looking to obviously get promoted and see that progression. We don't want you to be stagnant and not getting that progression that you deserve when you're putting all that hard work in. So we typically say you'd be a management trainee for around 10 to 12 months, at which point you do a test at the end. And if you pass that test, you get an automatic promotion to the next one, which is management assistant. At this stage, you get a little bit more responsibility. You can start then shadowing the assistant manager and really understanding that next role that you're going to be stepping into. And you get a bonus at that point as well, which is fab. Never a bad thing when you get a little bit more money to pass your training. But that management assistant stage is really a stopgap, and it's a time to learn of what's next, and it's a time to make sure that you're ready to go through to that next stage. And then you can start to apply for assistant manager roles, which is your first big step up. You step up in levels, your pay scales change, and you get a lot more responsibility. So you're managing a team of people within the branch. You are managing the logistics of the branch. You are the pivotal point of that branch, really, that decides what's happening and when it's happening. So it really is a big step. And you can be an assistant manager, believe it or not, in as little as 12 months. Now, this is different depending on person to person, as is all of this that I'm saying right now. Some people go a bit faster. Some people go a bit slower. Either way is fine, as long as you feel like you're progressing at your own pace. And then the natural next step from assistant manager is branch manager. So actually operating and running that whole branch. And we've got over 470 branches in the UK. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to get promoted into these positions. At the branch manager point, you can see it kind of spiders off into a few different sections. So at this point of being a branch manager, when you've really got a grasp of what's going on in the company, you really understand how we operate, you can then decide whether you want to continue down the management route or you want to step into one of these different sectors within the business as well. So at this point, that's when I went into talent acquisition, which sits amongst the human resources management team. A lot of, all our roles are filled with people coming up through our grad scheme and our placements. So, at some point, you kind of have a decision to make whether you want to continue down to area manager and beyond and kind of really senior management level, or if a role comes up in a different team, one of the supporting teams, you can decide whether you want to go for those additional roles as well. So a lot of different careers within Enterprise that you can end up in. And I've got to say, honestly, when I started 7.5 years ago, did I think I would be in a recruitment team? Absolutely not. I had absolutely no experience in recruitment, but again, we talk about transferable skills a lot. You can go anywhere you want to as long as you show you've got the drive, the ambition, and the transferable skills necessary for that role. We've even put people through, if they've come from the trainee, they've worked their way to branch manager. We've even had people go and train up to be accountants and be accountants within our team, and we've put them through that training to make sure that they are kind of officially recognized as a chartered accountant. So there's opportunities within your career at Enterprise to actually change your career without having to move a company, which is an amazing thing to be able to do. Actually, just before I skip on, Emily, can I come to you again? Obviously, you were a management trainee. What's the next step for you?
So at the minute, I'm quite lucky in the way that when I go back to, I've been promoted, I've basically been offered a job. So when I go back from uni, I've got a guaranteed role with enterprise, nowhere, like kind of no matter where I want to go. So if it's obviously, I kind of think about maybe going home down to London, there'll be a job there for me. But if I want to stay in Chester, there'll be a job there. In my role as well, the way that it's happened, I'm also hopefully going to be an assistant manager by the time I get back, and that's something that I've been progressing through whilst been at uni. So I've just been doing a few things just to make sure that when I get back, I am fully trained up to be an assistant manager. So hopefully that's the way I go. But yeah, that's my next step, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, great. Oh, it's kind of, when you hear from people that work at enterprise, obviously, Emily, you've not been with us for very long at all. You're already going to step into that assistant manager role when you finish university. So it's just good to hear, I suppose, for the people that are on the call, that what we're saying is true. And, you know, we're built around progression and getting people through the next stage. So what skills will you get if you joined enterprise on our I keep saying graduate, on our management training program? So any of the kind of different avenues that you choose. Obviously, communication. I'm absolutely sure that majority, if not all of you, have got communication skills that are on this call, but being able to develop them and kind of really work on lots of different things to do with communication. So communicating with different people, managing teams, you know, things like that. There's a lot more to communication than just talking to people. We've got customer service, which I have piped on about a few times now, but we are very, very much passionate customer service people. So you will learn this. If you haven't already worked very much with customers, you will definitely develop this even more than you already have, and being able to give great customer service experience for everyone that walks through any of, you know, our different branches and things like that as well. We've got time management. I'm sure, Emily, you'll vouch for me here. It's so crucial to have time management skills when you're working in one of our branches.
Absolutely. I think we kind of juggle quite a few balls, as it were, kind of day to day. So it's a really, really big role to be able to do everything and do it well. We get given something called a captaincy, which is basically you're taking control of something in the branch, and like say it's a little job, but you've got to prioritize your jobs and your tasks. And if you do that well, you'll progress so quickly. So it's really, really important. You've got to have good time management in this job, but it definitely shows.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. We've got leadership, which obviously we're a management training program. So we do want to grow you into leaders. That's naturally a skill that you're going to get. We do look for leadership potential throughout the recruitment process, but that's not to say you've ever had a leadership role before. So it's really about teaching you to take charge and offer everything you've got as a leader, as a manager, dealing with people all of the time and things like that as well. So we've got emotional intelligence. This is crucial, being able to grow your ability to understand where other people are coming from and empathizing with them, because we deal with a lot of different customers on a day-to-day basis, and some of them aren't having the best day because they'll have broken down in their vehicle, or they've been in an accident, or, you know, something's happened. So we've really got to grow that emotional intelligence so that we're offering the very best customer service that we can possibly provide. Another thing that you'll learn is actually marketing and sales, because that's part of the role that you do day to day. So being able to build relationships with the local businesses, and getting to know the brands that we offer and how we sell them and how we talk about them to our customers. And there are sales and marketing strategies that are vital to the company's growth and success, but also our personal growth and success as well, in being able to show that we can do that aspect of the role. Problem solving. So actually being able to see problems that arise and not ignoring them, but actually confronting the problems, seeing them as challenges that need solutions, and then being able to conquer those problems is something that probably day one you will have a problem that you need to solve at enterprise. So you really do develop that skill. And last but not least, adaptability. So being able to actually adapt to any and every situation, because a lot can change in a day at enterprise. You might start the day quite quiet. Next minute, you've got a customer that's broken down in a vehicle, you need to get them one. Next minute, you've got another vehicle that you need to deliver. So actually being able to adapt to situations, but being able to adapt to different teams and different people as well is super important. So, you know, some of our branches are quite small. They might have 5 people working in them. Other branches might have 15 people working in them. So being able to adapt to different environments and to different management styles and things like that as well is super important. I flew through them because we're running out of time a bit, and I wanted to make sure that we've got time to talk about the application process. So the first step of our application process, if you've not already done it, some of you might have already applied, is to complete an online application form. So we don't require a minimum grade or ask for a specific subject that you've studied, as I mentioned before. We really do look for kind of relatable experiences that you might have had, transferable skills, as I've mentioned a few times, and we just want you to put them all in your application so we can see them. We don't take CVs, we don't ask for cover letters. We just want you to go online and find the job that you want to apply for, and then you'll be prompted from there to apply online and fill out an application form, which does not take a lot of time at all. After the application form, if we read your application and we think you've done a good job, we'll invite you to a virtual interview. So that will normally be performed on a platform like Microsoft Teams. It will be one-on-one, so it'll just be you and it will be a recruiter. So someone like me, just one-on-one, nothing scary, no panels, no pre-recorded interviews or anything like that. And it will just be to find out more about you and gain a deeper understanding of you and the competencies that you've got and the experiences that you've got and what you're passionate about, really. If we like what we've seen from the virtual interview, there's only one more stage of the recruitment process, which is great. It's quite a quick recruitment process. And this is a really unique part of our recruitment process because we actually invite you to go in to one of the branches that's local to you, so not too far afield. And we'd get you to meet a team, see what it's like day to day on a fully working operational day. The phones will be ringing, there'll be customers coming in. So it gives a really good insight as to what life at Enterprise would be like for you if you were to be successful. Also gives obviously us a good opportunity to see you in the environment, to make sure that you're the right kind of person for the roles that we have, to make sure that you fit in, that the culture for you is the right kind of fit. So it's really a good two-way street to see that we're the right company for you and you're the right kind of person for us. Emily, you've seen these branch visits in action, as well as actually having been on a branch visit yourself. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about what a good candidate would look like at a branch visit?
Absolutely. So in terms of the branch visit, we've already kind of seen you in the virtual interview. You know, we know who you kind of are, like kind of what your understanding of the job is. But it's more, we love somebody that comes in, gets stuck in, asks questions, meets people, just get stuck in with the team, because that is the first thing you're going to have to do on your first day. You're going to have to meet everybody. You're going to have to start obviously learning what's going on and seeing what's going on day to day. You're in the branch for say about an hour, 2 hours. It gives you a really, really good opportunity to get networking, to get your name there, just so people think, I like them. When are they coming back? When are they joining us? So you want to get stuck in, and you want to really, really try and represent yourself well. Ask a load of questions, just sit there, shadow someone. Literally as if you're putting sticky tape on your arm and their arm, just shadow them all as much as you can. But yeah, it's just that smiley face. You just want to seem presentable and stuck into it, basically.
Yeah, very enthusiastic people, passionate, you want to be there kind of thing. And just really getting involved and asking loads of questions is typically a successful branch visit and what that looks like.
I think it's very go on,
you carry on.
I think it's very difficult because in that kind of situation it is really easy to get nervous, but we say this over and over again, and you will hear this about 100 times. Every single person has been in the exact same position, so everybody's been nervous, everybody's been shaking, going into it.
Yeah, I did a branch visit 7.5 years ago.
Exactly.
We've never changed yet. And it was the best part of the process for me, because I really got to see exactly what I was going into, and it gave me a really, really good insight. And for me, it was going in and it solidified the fact that I wanted to be part of this company because I could see myself there. So it's a really good process. It's better than kind of like an assessment centre when that's like simulated. It's not real world what you would actually be doing, whereas a branch visit really is what you would be doing day to day. So being able to understand the role a lot better as well. If you're successful from the branch visit, that is it. We would offer you a job on our management training program. And I don't like calling it a job because it's a career. It really is a career opportunity. It's not just another job that you want to do for a year and then move on, but we really are a career built to last, and we've got so much opportunity that, you know, we want to offer you that career and that progression that you deserve when you put the hard work in. And that's it. As part of the presentation, I'd just like to welcome you to follow us on our social media channels. We have loads and loads of amazing video content and things like that on our YouTube channel, which can be found there. You can follow us on you know, all of the different platforms that are listed there to find out more about us, industry insights, job opportunities that are coming up and things like that as well. So I do strongly urge you, if you are liking the sound of what you're hearing, then do follow us on social media and keep up to date with what's going on in the industry. That's it from us. So the websites are listed here. You can see if you're in Ireland and you want to stay in Ireland, then the Irish Careers website is on there. It's just .ie at the end instead of .co.uk. And for the UK, obviously, it's .co.uk. So they're there. You can see on there all of the career opportunities that we've got, whether it's be the grad scheme, whether it be a placement or a summer internship that you're after, or even if you're after something a little bit more specific, we do have kind of customer service care roles. We've got automotive roles and things like that as well, which cover a wide range, you know, not just enterprise rent-a-car, but, you know, flexi rent and all of those other brands that I spoke about before. So it's definitely worth having a quick look on our website and making sure that you're applying for the best job for you. And if you need anything at all, oh, I was supposed to put my name there. I'll put my email address in the chat box. So if you do need anything at all, just send me an email and I'm more than happy to help direct you to a certain point of a website if you can't find it yourself. That's it on the presentation. So I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen now just so I can see Emily, because I couldn't see you there. Hello. And I can see the chat box as well to see if we've had any questions. So there was yeah, everyone was telling me where they were from. My colleague Sam, who's lurking in the background somewhere, she has put in the link to the website. She's also put in the link to my LinkedIn. So if anyone wants to connect, if you want to ask any questions, you want to send me a message, please do. And I'm sure, Emily, you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll shove mine. I'll put mine in now.
Yeah, brilliant. No questions on there. I'm just going to have a look in the Q&A box. So someone's asked a question on being able to drive. Most jobs need to be able to drive and have a full license. That is true. So for the graduate scheme, for the placements and things like that, you do need to have a driving license. So that's because you will be expected, as we are a mobility company, you would be expected to drive our vehicles. Not that you have to have your own vehicle. You don't need to have your own vehicle. As long as you can get into work, that's fine. You would be driving enterprise vehicles throughout the course of the day. So that's why it's important. I just want to stress, though, if you do have a disability or a medical reason that you can't have a driving license, then please do still apply and let us know that that's the reason why you don't have a driving license, and you will be considered the same way as everyone else would be. We do, as you've said there, though, it's not all about vehicles. We do have other roles that you actually don't require a driving license for. So we do have some home working roles. We have, you know, some office-based roles that are specific to certain points of the country. Our European head office is based down in Surrey, so there are more opportunities down there that you might not need a driving license for, but it's definitely worth just having a look on our website. And if you are looking for a role that you don't have a driving license, there might still be a role for you. So definitely don't forget about us. Just get in touch and we can point you to those roles. We've got another question. Do you offer sponsorship for the training program? So in short, yes, we can offer sponsorship, but you do have to come to us with a 2-year graduate visa, which you can obtain once you've graduated from university. That needs to be a full 2 years that you can give to us because it is a 2-year graduate program. And then when your graduate visa expires after the 2 years, if you're still with us, then we can sponsor any other visa that you might need. Do you accept experienced people for graduate programs? Yes, absolutely. There's no kind of age limit. You don't have to have graduated within a specific period of time. So, use the experience that you've got to your advantage throughout the recruitment process. As long as you're happy with starting in an entry-level position where you work your way up, then experience is more than welcome. So that's absolutely fine. We've got a question on the starting salary. So it does depend where you are in the country. If we're talking about the graduate scheme starts at 25,600. You do get a bonus when you pass your training as well. And there's a lot of opportunity to earn more than that. So that is your basic salary. You're walking away with that. But you've also got opportunities such as sales bonuses, customer service bonuses. We have an amazing employee referral scheme, which you can earn a lot of money from. So that there is actually a lot more opportunity to earn more than just your basic salary. And as I alluded to before, when we were talking about the career timeline, when you get to that assistant manager role, your pay then changes. You get paid off the bottom line of the branch. So you get a commission percentage on top of your salary as well. So a lot of money to be made, as you progress throughout your career at Enterprise as well. So I hope that has answered all of the questions that were in the Q&A box. I can see as well a couple in the chat box. So we've got, can Masters graduates apply for the opportunities? Yes, you can apply for the graduate scheme. We don't unfortunately have a placement that you can apply for as a master's student, but when you finish your Masters, if you're looking to join us as a graduate, then absolutely. We have a lot of master's students that have joined us and are, leading very successful careers with Enterprise. Another one, postgraduate student looking for a placement. We don't unfortunately have any of those available at the moment, but never say never. Keep your ears close to the ground. I'm not sure. Keep your eye on a website to keep it easy. But at the moment, the placements that we offer, the year in industry placements, are for undergraduate students. And in the position, mentioned cost analysis. I suppose where the financial side of what you learn on the management training scheme is really understanding things like the profit and loss statement within the branch to know where we're doing well, where we need to improve. That's really important part of the role, being able to understand kind of the management of accounts and kind of money owed and things like that. Dealing with day-to-day costs and things like that is kind of a lot of where that comes in. And then obviously, as I've said before, branch manager onwards, you can go into more specific roles if that's something that really intrigues you. You don't have to have prior knowledge of anything like that. It's a training scheme. We will teach you how to do kind of that financial side of the business and understanding that profit and loss statement and things like that as well. Someone's asked, work full-time. Can I work full-time or part-time while doing an undergrad course in your first year? You can't on the grad scheme, you can't on the placements. It is a full-time commitment, so it needs to be either as a lot of people do, like sandwich placements or year in industry. Unis call them different things. It's a full-time opportunity. We do sometimes have part-time roles that come up for like driving roles, so it could be like an evenings and weekends kind of thing for out of hours, but they do come up few and far between. I know there was one on the website recently, but they are very location based. So I think there was one in Preston in the Northwest, for example. So again, it's worth just keeping your eye out for things like that. It's not something that we offer as standard, but they do come up every now and again. And the last question, is this available in the Netherlands? Great question. I'm actually not sure. I mean, I did mention we're in over 90 countries across the globe, and there is graduate training programs in all of those countries. So we do have, you can either have the opportunity to apply in that country. So you wouldn't be able to apply through the UK and kind of move across like that. You could apply to a country that you're interested in by going to their careers website. Or we do have opportunities if you wanted to start in the UK and go through the training and kind of get yourself to a higher up, more senior position like branch manager or something higher up than that. And then there are actually opportunities to relocate with Enterprise as well. So that might be moving to a different country for a new role. It might be moving across doing a similar thing that you're doing now, but we do offer relocation packages. But what I would say is if there's a specific country that you're interested in relocating to right now, to go on the Enterprise Careers website for that country and you'll be able to apply through there. I hope that wasn't too vague and I hope that was helpful for you. But Sam, my colleague, has also put my email address in the chat. Thanks, Sam. So if anyone does have any further questions from this webinar, then please do reach out. But we're out of time, so I'm going to have to end it there. And just say thank you so much for dedicating your Thursday evening to come and listening to me and Emily. We really appreciate it. We hope we've given you some insight and we hope to see some applications from you guys and some connections on LinkedIn and things like that as well. But for now, thank you so much and we will hopefully see more of you soon. Thank you very much.